Hello and welcome to the Raven's Nest, session 28. It's been a long time updating new episode names. We're going to call this one Silver or Blood. But since it's been a while, go around the table and check in with each of the players. Got Boonsy missing, hopefully joining us a little bit later, but up in the air, so we'll see. Rixian, how's your month and a couple weeks?
Nothing new.
Your microphone sounds different.
Does it? Oh, that's probably not good.
It almost sounds like a speakerphone.
Yeah.
I should be better now,
Oh,
right?
yeah, much better.
Yes.
Okay.
Well, normal, I would say. Kroot, how about you?
I've been doing great. Thank you for asking. Hope you enjoyed your time off.
I did. Got so much stuff done. Felt good.
Got that honey-do list done?
Most of it. Raven.
Yeah, those lists tend to be longer than Santa Claus's.
Well, they get longer when you finish a little bit. It's like get one done at two.
Mhm.
Raven, how was your bit of time? I know got a little bit of an update last night, but anything that you'd like to add? New things?
To this crowd, I don't really think anything. Well, I mean, I guess since I've seen you guys, I got a new graphics card. I don't know if I told you that before. I'm assuming that happened since then. Finally managed to get one and not get gouged out of it either. I got it at MSRP, which is like unheard of right now in today's market. But other than that, just been working a lot.
Word?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, it doesn't sound too bad. But, as stated, it's been quite a while since our last game. I will give the opportunity for a recap in order to earn some extra experience. Because it's been a while, I'll basically, add in like bonus on top of it. But if anything's missing, of course, I'll just fill in the gaps.
Mm-hmm.
So, which one of you would like to take the lead? Don't be bashful.
Oh, jokes.
Trying to remember here. So we were at the Angel's Touch Lake, where we were looking for one of the remains. The remains of Mythos and Gofi, I believe it was called.
Mm-hmm.
And we were chasing this three-headed dog, if I remember right. Or was it the dog that we met first?
The three-headed dog and
The type of
the
snake
other
people.
creatures. I can't remember which one. We were chasing one of them and then wound up fighting the three-headed dog and all these other creatures. I forget what they were called.
Quapra.
Quapra, yeah. It was a pretty rough fight. We got through it though, and towards the end, we were kind of interrupted by someone named Klaus, who owned this dog, this three-headed dog, and the dog. During that, I guess that's another thing. During the end of at the end of that fight, the dog transformed back into a normal-sized, but I think it was also three-headed still, but a normal-sized dog. And then that guy Klaus showed up and kind of joined our party. Told us that he had a run-in with Elistar as well. He had managed to steal a piece from Estelar, if I remember right, which I believe was this piece, the Mythos and Gofi. But yeah, we decided to ally with Klaus, and we ended up going to Silverkeep for wishes of Rixian to go see his family and deal with the dragon there, as the payment that is due is coming up soon. I believe we decided to take our time and rest here while we're at it. And I was working with the smithy, if I remember right. I can go through my notes to find their name. I keep forgetting it. Anyways, yeah, we're kind of just passing time here while we're waiting for the rest to go off and to meet with the dragon. I don't think I really had too much else. Oslod is the... You guys have anything else to add to this? I'm trying to remember what else.
Nothing else. You did pretty dang well for being so long.
Yeah, it's been like 6 weeks or something.
Yeah, just about. Last game was May 21st.
Yeah, I was looking at my notes and I was like, this can't be right. The May 22nd or 21st.
Yeah, I was like, when I saw that myself, I was like, dang.
I was like, did I miss putting notes in the last game?
Nope.
You know? Yeah. It's like, jeez, man. Yeah, I didn't have a ton of notes other than I said, when that Klaus joined us.
I mean, other than quite a bit of RP, I think it's safe to say that Klaus kind of crossed maybe a bit of a boundary, even though that's not really something he's familiar with, but crossed a boundary with Rixian, staying the night at his family manor. Seemed that Rixian was pretty crossed when Syndra arrived back at the Fool's cellar with Klaus.
Seemed like Klaus was trying to get with Rixian's sister or something. I'm not sure.
It was the fact that he almost revealed the fact that I was alive in front of my whole family.
Oh, I either don't remember that or I didn't catch that.
Not mentioning just that, you're alive, but also in Silverkeep or any other detrimental things. Luckily, not bringing up anything of you being blind or anything of that manner either. But we'll continue our story with this. Still in the morning of June 19th, year 1101, just as the sun has peaked its full mass over the eastern grasslands that extend to the Silver Peak Mountains in the forest off to the east. Each of you have decided to take some time to rest in Silverkeep and also to accomplish a couple goals at once. Getting your much-needed rest, and after your tussle with Nar, the three-headed dog, guard dog owned by Klaus. Klaus, being a new party member with each of you for just a day, seems to have already crossed some boundaries with Rixian. However, the other goal, to oversee or perhaps escort, or whatever your plan lands on, for the task with the Silver Dragon, Visor, the Eternal One. As Rixian stated, just being roughly 10 days away, with it being June 19th, and the payment being due at the end of the month, each of you know there are 11 days till that time is up.
How many days are we into our rest?
1.
Okay.
So with that in mind, this does leave you all with plenty of time to get your rest completed and accomplish any other tasks that you wish to get done. If there is nothing really looking to get done, of course we can move forward or do whatever we need to do to when we get to the next time frame that may require some attention. But I'll leave the floor to each of you for now.
Well, I feel like going to sleep for the next 6 days.
Are you talking about real life or in game?
Take a wild guess.
Yes, I think your answer is yes. Both.
And I'll just continue helping Oslod, making weapons, shields, whatever she needs to be done for the rest of the week.
I think me and Kroot are competing to make better weapons and shields. He's probably going to win.
That sounds like something Kroot would do.
Yeah.
I think me and Sindra would give what? No, it's help. Klaus a lecture on why being seen is a bad idea and how we intend to fix it later on.
Why would me being seen be a bad idea?
It's not that you being seen, it's that you know about me existing, and to be honest, you're one of the few who do. That's
So
not a good
more
thing
for
in
you
this
than
circumstance.
myself. Okay.
Yes. Nothing against yourself, of course, but you were in a minefield and you didn't realize it.
Well, I'll keep that in mind.
Great.
Brother, what is it that you look to accomplish here? You said something about keeping an eye. But I'm just to leave the platinum pieces down in the plains. Not sure what else there's to keep an eye on.
Well, you, of course.
Well, hopefully
this-
nothing's there when I'm there.
In the city, when there's a dragon involved and our entire city is at risk, you're going to need a powerful sorcerer to help deal with it if something goes wrong.
Bouncies. Hello, since you're here.
Sorry, I'm late.
Oh, no big deal. Like you said, you got off work at 8, so figured probably like getting in something to eat, you know, all that kind of stuff. But since it just actually happened, if there's anything that you would like to say, as Rixian gave you a bit of a lecture on why it's not good for him to be seen. You being one of the few people that know him to be alive.
Why it's not good for Rixian to be seen?
Correct.
Around my family, specifically.
Yes. Stating that you were in a minefield and didn't really notice it, I think I was.
Yeah, you were standing in a minefield that you didn't know was about to trigger a lot of terrible negative emotions. And severed ties and stuff like that.
So, forgive me. What's the summary of like why it's not a good idea?
Because they all think that I'm still looking for my sister, or they think that I'm dead. And I made a promise to myself and to Sindra that either I would not come back, or that both of us would come back at once. because I promised them in the first place that I would bring her back. And I'm either going to make that promise or I'm not. No in between.
Well, that is quite an odd promise, if I do say so myself.
I don't want to break any more promises. This is the only way to do that.
Fair enough. If you wish to hold off and let them go on without a little bit of hope a little bit longer, you do as you will.
I'm hoping the reunion will be worth it.
And I just nod my head.
So yeah, we basically spent the whole day making sure he understood that.
Probably would take roughly the entire day, maybe a little bit more. Crew, Raven, each of you stated that you were just going to help Oslod in the blacksmith.
Yes.
So, is that? I mean, I'm just to try to help summarize it, I guess, a little bit and try to kill the long rest time. If that's all you guys want to do is just basically like rest during that time, not really do anything else, then at the moment, unless otherwise stated, the only thing I'll really need is 7 blacksmithing checks from Raven and Groot. But like I said, you still have 7 days to complete the long rest and then a couple of extra. So if there is anything you wish to accomplish, definitely got the time.
Let me make those rolls.
Which skill are we using on this one?
Either strength or dexterity, because you'll be performing a various task.
I'm not proficient, so these are just straight dex rolls.
And there's number 7.
Pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah. Good way to end it out. Good way to start.
Yeah.
Dang, look at that start. Nice.
Mm-hmm. Pretty good.
It keeps going down.
See that?
What the heck?
Oh,
Well, a natural one.
There.
There we go.
More. Okay.
Cool.
nice.
Alright. 1 low and 1 okay. That's pretty good. I mean, all but 1 were over 10.
That's good.
Claus, Rixian, is there anything else that you all would like to accomplish during the long rest time?
Rixian would like to help, but the less eyes that are on him, the better. So he's going in places where he knows her sisters are not allowed in, which is, of course, the bar.
I don't think there's anything that I would really have the time to do in that time.
So just hanging out at the tavern as well?
No, I don't think Claus isn't one to stay in one place for much longer than 10 minutes.
Yeah, he tends to break into other people's houses and sleep
Part of
in
it.
there unwarranted.
That's just a part of it. I'd rather sleep inside someone's house than out on the ground.
Okay, but not my house, okay?
No, if you can't go there, who's going to stop me?
She will.
Hmm. Well, for the most part, Claus will explore the surroundings of the town, like the nature.
Yeah, to taking in a little bit more detail as you make your way about. All right. So with that in mind, um, I was almost called you the wrong name there for a moment. Claus, can you give me an investigation check at advantage? Since this will be one of the main things that you're doing for the entire time. You have quite a bit of time to accomplish this.
I have base investigation. We'll give it a shot.
That's pretty good.
Not bad.
So as you're taking in the surroundings, you'll notice that the full cellar is... the majority of it is a bit old. You see that there's some recent repairs that kind of catch your eye here and there. But the main thing that catches your eye is the more refurbished parts of the town. The market and some of the homes seem to be being well taken care of. I find this a little strange.
Like only parts of the town are being kept up?
Correct.
How do the people look around those areas?
Go ahead and give me a perception check.
Great.
It's pretty easy to note that the amount of work going through here doesn't necessarily match like the economic status of most of the individuals. Most of the individuals here being that of farmers and like tending to cattle and crops. Besides those that tend to the market. The tavern being run by air elementals, well, that is what it is.
Yeah, so he's very perplexed. It seems like a port town, and then sometimes it doesn't seem like a port town. So he's really confused at this place.
Exactly. Raven and Kroot, each of you will complete a series of like chainmail, splint, swords, short and long, some shields, bucklers, all sorts of different items. And with how well the work comes out in a overall standing, each of you will be given 175 gold.
All right.
Oh yeah, I'm back over 9,000 gold. Over 9,000.
So, with each of you making your way about, for the most part, Rixian, hanging out at the tavern, um, can, Rixian, you give me a perception check at advantage? This will be from, not related, it won't be related to sight, I should say.
Did good.
So, hanging out in the tavern for, an extended period of time definitely has its perks. Sitting in on one afternoon, you overhear a conversation of a couple of residents here of Silverkeep. You notice their faces to be slightly familiar, but you've never formally met. Just seen them about the area. Well, not sure what or where all these funds have been coming from, but it's gonna do the town well. I agree. All the extra hands that have been arriving have, well, begin to make this place look great again. Withhold its standings of being Silverkeep.
He'll kind of smile and know that other than appeasing a dragon, that the funds are at least improving his home. On the seventh day, after we long rest, I would like to do something.
Okay. What I will, what I will say is, well, I would just like to double check that there is nothing else that would like to be completed during that time frame. If not, then the long rest will be complete, and I believe that moves us to June 26th.
Yeah, and there's still like 4 or 5 days until the dragon actually comes.
4 days.
Yep.
All right. Well, from the silence, it doesn't sound like anybody has anything else. So the long rest will be completed. Moving everyone to June 26th, year 1101. And with the long rest being done, it will, of course, restore all those juicy spell slots, health, hit dice,
All of
all
them.
that good stuff.
Hell yeah.
Rixian will gather literally everyone in the party and Sinja and say, well, I hope everyone feels rested.
Oh yeah. Feeling pretty good.
I hope you are too.
Yes, quite rejuvenated, actually. Now, Sinja, you've been telling me that there's really no reason for me to stick around for this long and just basically watch a dragon get paid. And I was thinking maybe you're probably right. Other than resting, we're kind of just sitting around for the next 4 days. So how does everyone feel about me slash us, go to a certain deep sea city?
Wait, what were we doing with the dragon here when the payment is due?
If we don't make it back in time, then I'm counting on Sindra to make it happen. That's
we
only
not-
if she likes this idea.
Should we not just wait the 4 days here, deal with the dragon, and then go to the sea?
Sounds like a better plan to me.
It's time being wasted if we're just sitting around.
There's a very big risk that we can get there and back in 4 days. I would imagine it would take 4 days just to get there.
I don't want to give Dickalar any more time than he needs.
And besides, I refuse to go. Your sister's happy there. Go take her away from someplace she wants to be.
I'm not saying anything's going to happen. I'm just saying I want to go there.
Well, I agree with Rixian's plan.
She's not going to be taken away. I will have no hand in returning if that's the case.
I just have to figure out what happens from now on. And if she really is going to stay there, then how do I tell everyone else? I mean,
Is she able to permit us to come in? Will they even let us?
she's royalty, apparently. She'll definitely let me in.
I would feel more comfortable if you confirmed with her first before we left.
Well, assuming Crude had some messages left before we actually rested, then... Oh, wait, I'm pretty sure you didn't, right? You didn't have any third levels?
No. I was completely out of third on up.
Yeah, so...
I mean, we can go, but there's no guarantee they won't turn us away or attack us. I would at least have her let her people know that we're coming. I'm assuming they don't just allow intruders to their city.
So, go ahead and give Joriel a heads up. Say something like, Rixian and his friends are coming to visit you. If it's possible, please try to convince the Tritons there to let us in. I miss you.
Are you talking to Kroot right now?
That's the message I want you to send.
I'm sorry, I didn't memorize that spell.
Rixian will repeat that ad nauseum.
I'm prepared for dragon.
Right.
Oh, that is fair.
I don't blame anyone for sticking around for that to happen.
I say if we're trying to get back here in 4 days, it might not be the smartest idea to go into the city before then, because if we come unannounced, it's very likely that we'll just be arrested.
That's my point, yes.
No
Yeah.
knowledge of when we
Well,
will be released.
The way I see it as well is she's been there this long. Another 4 days isn't going to hurt.
Well, she's going to respond to the message, so if we get a yes or no, she would obviously stop us before actually getting arrested.
Did you send the message?
But he doesn't have a message prepared.
You don't?
No, I don't have sending. I told you I prepared for dragon.
Well, in
Sending.
that case, never mind then. Forget I said anything.
Well, So then it sounds as you all are prepared to wait in Silverkeep for the next 4 days for the end of the month, correct?
Yes.
To be
Rixine will just casually dismiss everybody and kind of wait around impatiently. He doesn't need to rest, but he also can't do anything either, and it's frustrating.
I go up to Rixian and I pull out my dragon chess board and I place it in front of him and I say, "That's better to keep your mind busy."
On other things, yeah, I suppose so.
Well,
He'll play along.
can each of you give me an intelligence check?
I am not good at dragon
5.
chess, but sometimes I get lucky.
Rixian. Oh, no, this is just for Rixian and Claus. I'm sorry.
Oh, but
okay, good. 'Cause I rolled like
everyone's playing. I'm good.
I would have whooped everyone's ass.
So,
we ran a tournament while
We did a
during the
tournament bracket.
yeah, okay. So, first round, Rixian, you're taken out against Claus, and then Raven, you play Kroot, you lose, and you kind of start to see a little bit of a pattern. There a little bit changes here and there. Sometimes Claus does really well, sometimes he does poor. But since going through the next 4 days just relaxing, can each of you give me a perception check at advantage, please?
Oh, there we go. A 1 and a 20.
Look at that, 31.
Oh, we didn't miss shit.
Double 28s.
Nice.
Well, you all rolled very well. So as each of the days pass, you spend some of the time playing some dragon chess in order to pass the time. However, each morning, each day at dawn, and each day at dusk, each of you begin to notice a pattern. You see a large winged creature fly from the Silver Peak Mountains and land a few miles southeast of Silverkeep. This happens each morning and each day at dusk. We'll say at this point, we'll move you all to the 29th, the day prior to the expected meetup.
We should do it now.
What?
We
Deliver the
should.
feed?
Yes.
Well, that actually brings up a good point. Are we just making payment, or are we going to dispose of this problem permanently?
From the looks
Yeah.
of it here, it looks like Kroot wishes to take care of it.
I thought Kroot
I-
was prepared in case something happened, which is a good idea. I don't blame you.
This is true. I would do the same thing as I have, but I just want to know our intentions.
I don't want to fight a dragon before fighting Estelar.
I 100% agree with that. So
I'm
the
tired of
plan is
sleeping
to
all day.
try and make the payment without a hitch, so that we can fight Estelar if
And then-
need be this week.
Sure. And
And if it goes south, then we fight a dragon.
after we take care of SLR, then maybe we feel like fighting a dragon.
Oh yes, afterwards. Yes.
Oh yes, and then we can move up to gods next. I'm completely okay with everything. He says in a condescending tone.
I mean, Estelar calls himself a god.
No, he's just a man who made a pact with a demon. That's it.
Wait, demons are real?
Well, for the most of the people here, maybe not.
They're not real.
Did we read anything about demons in the library in Glens? I don't remember us
Yeah, I don't
coming
remember
across
anything either.
anything with actual demons.
No. Most of the stuff looked for in Glens was very specific
Right.
for enchanting items and looking for information on the remains that you were seeking.
Right. And Estelar himself, right?
Correct.
I just don't remember there being anything about him being related to demons at all in there. But,
No. The only thing that's kind of related is just the name that he's been given, the Demon of Nyansima Mountains.
okay. We still have that book, if I remember right. If we have it on hand, um, I would pull the book out and show Klaus, some of the passages we found about him, and basically say just, that was more just a name from what we were told. He was never actually a demon or made a deal with the demon that we're aware of. He's just, well, not just. He's supposed to be a fallen god. And have you heard his tie to Prince Chula and all of that?
Well, names always come from somewhere, don't they? You think someone just decided to call him a demon?
I mean, he's just, a powerful, evil person. I figure people just come up with a name for that reason. But
God, demon, hero,
I mean, I guess kind
lich.
of all the same. But you know,
They're
we're
all
talking
nonsense names.
end of world type enemies here. They're all the same.
Yes, well,
So,
I tend to have been many places in my travels, and I've seen many of different creatures.
I see. Did you hear about how he was trying to resurrect Prince Chula?
Well, yes, of course. The
Yes.
man is insane.
We haven't heard any news since then. I can only hope he didn't succeed.
Well, I'd look up into the sky and make sure everything's the normal color.
Yeah, blue skies, bit of clouds,
Do
sunshine.
Unless
I
unless he's on
notice?
the opposite side of the world, then I'd assume we were fine for now.
How do you know that?
If Prince Chula returns, then certainly half of this planet will be wiped away.
Hmm. You looked over there like you could just see him if it happened.
It would definitely be a sign.
But
Great
that,
power is always represented by something.
I mean, we are so far away from where he was. I mean, when he was trying to resurrect him, I believe he was near Laels, was it? Or Blucksmouth area?
The distance does seem great if you tend to travel it by foot, but you all get around quite quickly, as do I.
Well, If you want to go through the book, feel free.
The book on Estelar?
Yes, the one we found in Glenn's.
You have it with you?
I assumed we did.
Yep.
I mean, I'm pretty sure we took it with us when we left. So, yeah, I pass it off.
Be
Give
sure
it to
not.
read?
Yeah, not right away.
Yes,
Yeah.
it would have been nicer if you had proposed that 10 days ago.
Yeah, I didn't think about it till just now. We didn't really talk about Estelar much, other than we both agreed we hated him. So
I propose we do the meeting with the dragon, and then in our travels after, I'll take a peek at it.
sure.
I don't want to cut this close, so that's why we're doing it now.
Yes. All right, we've got the fee ready for the dragon here.
Uh, Sindra should have it. I gave it to her.
What kind of dragon was it again?
A silver
Do
one.
we know? Oh,
So on the night of the 29th, Sindra will meet up with each of you at the Fool's Cellar, and as she makes her way over to the table, she places her hands upon it and says, "Well, tomorrow, with what I've been seeing, and I'm sure each of you are aware, as everyone is practically talking about this dragon flying overhead, I plan to go leave the money, the platinum pieces there, towards the middle of the night. Doesn't seem that it's ever out during the night, but only in the morning, and then just as the sun sets."
I don't wish to go greet him proper. Or her.
Throughout Rixian's overhearing of rumors, does he get the sense that when people are talking about this dragon, they think it's the same dragon as Mogan and are worshipping it?
It seems that the news is actually like a bit ecstatic. They are not necessarily praising it as Mogan, but it's just like the buzz around town. There's a little bit of fear here and there, but there just seems to be a high level of curiosity.
Yeah. It's kind of freaky not knowing that this town is actually in the clutches of that dragon, so.
And no, I
I
won't
hope.
be greeting him properly to answer your question, Claus. I don't wish to be anywhere near the thing. And then she'll look towards Rixian and say, "You said that that was okay."
I would prefer that you didn't.
If you all wish to greet him properly, then you do as you wish. You've already, well, most of you have already been face to face with it before.
Yes, and you don't have to. That's why we're here. But if you still want to come, that's up to you.
If it is, as you say, a silver dragon, I don't believe there would be too much of an issue. If it were along the lines of a red or black, then I would definitely stay. Keep your distance.
This one is not friendly, from what we can tell.
Not friendly.
It seems to be. I would put it closer to be in line with the red one, as far as alignment and personality.
I think
Interesting.
I think this silver dragon has some history, so he's not typically acting like a normal one.
To give you a little bit of insight, when each of them had spoken with the dragons over at the Dragon Plane, Visor, the Eternal One, was kind of, I guess you could say, referenced as a bit of an outlaw. They all kind of seem to speak down to him with like a little bit of, or speak down upon him with like a bit of disgust.
Apparently,
or that?
It's a ability for the Horizon Walker. As an action, you detect the distance and direction of the closest planar portal. It's within 1 mile, though.
Okay. No, you don't detect anything.
Okay.
I wanted to make sure that it was like a specific type of portal because, I mean, there is that teleportation circle set up here but you're already aware of that.
Planar portal.
But nope, you get no signal. Static.
Okay. I'm curious if there's something to the southeast, though. But we'll deal with that another time.
Okay. So, are you all heading towards the location where Visor has been landing, approximately?
Yeah, preferably ahead of time.
Okay, that's all I wanted to make sure of. So you all make your way down the southern road and then begin to cut off towards the west and make your way towards the area where you've been seeing the Silver Dragon land. Pass through bits of scattered trees, rocks, just bits of high grass. There's little bits of divots here and there in the ground. Just like uneven terrain. As the sun is just about 30 minutes away from rising, can each of you give me a perception check?
I am still wearing the jackal mask.
Damn.
That mask, though. As each of you are making your way about, you'll notice as you're going, a few broken trees seem to be just snapped in half right at the trunk. The remainder of it laying on the ground, some of it, the branches shattered away. A few rocks seem to be completely crumbled. Large boulders turn to small pebbles. Then, coming across a few large indentations into the ground, seems that a large creature was landing nearby. Raven, with your keen eye, you're actually able to see a glimpse, a little bit of a shine coming off from the west.
I point to the west. Everyone, you see that shine over there?
Mm-hmm.
Must be the glimmer off of his silver body.
Well, act natural. And we'll place the gold in this indentation in the forest. Platinum.
Once the sun starts to break, the eastern horizon, this is when each of you will notice that shine to actually be the bits of platinum. Then, quite easily, each of you spot a large winged creature flying from the Silver Peak Mountains to the west, making its way east, eventually circling above, slowly making a descent. A few moments pass, and as the silver dragon lands upon the ground, each of you feel the ground beneath you with a bit of a shake, and it makes its way over to the shine. See it extend its neck, open its mouth. The tongue whips out and starts grabbing the platinum pieces. With a few quick licks, the platinum pieces are all swallowed. It shakes. You see the scales let off a nice bit of a shine as the light just reflects down the entire creature slowly for the light sparkle at the tip of the tail. As it extends its neck, see the scales puff out, almost extending like fur, making its neck seem a bit wider. Then each of you hear a loud yell. More! Silver or blood? More.
I'm going to go with silver.
Oh, there seems like there's something wrong with this one.
I gotta get used to it.
See it turning its head.
Lady Dragon.
Eventually, it turns, looking over towards your direction, begins to make his way over.
You ready, guys?
Roughly about 50 foot away from you. It looks. It just tilts its head.
How much more?
5,000 gold.
Ah,
That
That'd be
seems like a
crazy.
lot.
Didn't we say 100 gold a month was the deal?
More.
That's
No,
50 times what we agreed to.
I knew he was going to increase it, but this much is...
50 times?
Well, we'll have it for you next month.
The original price negotiated. Not a copper more.
You have 1 month. It turns its head, beginning to move away.
Insight.
Sure.
Ugh. Terrible.
I'll take a few steps forward and I'll say, excuse me.
Stops. Turns.
No, I've one that gets around, not as much as you, of course, but you seem a bit off to me. Is there a reason you want so much?
Mine was taken, and I want it back.
Do you know who took it?
He'll not respond. Just continues to look directly into your eyes.
Well, we could make a much better agreements if we were to just work with each other, don't you think?
You will give your blood.
Well, I do like my blood to stay where it is. But if we if we are able to help you, I do not wish any bloodshed to happen. I am quite a fan of your species. You seem to be flying off more than a normal one of your kind would. And so I believe you seem to be looking for your horde.
It's close. It can't be far.
So if we were to find this, would we have a deal that you would not harm the town?
You don't get a response, but you get a slight nod of the head. It seems a bit of a reluctant agreement.
Now, if, I'm not sure of what agreement that I motion over to the rest of the group that you've brought up with them, but if we could keep that for now, and we could also see if we can track down the rest of your horde, then I'm sure you will be much happier.
The previous deal has been met. The new one proposed.
New one's been denied.
I sort of slowly turn my eyes to Groot.
The new deal seems a little much. As I've stepped around in this town a few times. They seem to be just getting their footing in some places. But we are this group right here. They seem more than capable. We might be able to assist in your overall main effort.
How long?
Well, as I said, we could definitely supply. I've motioned towards the empty container. I guess it was
There's just like an indentation on the ground.
just
and,
an indentation. Okay.
Yeah, and then the other platinum is just like left in a small leather sack.
Okay.
Well, that was scooped out and eaten.
Well, this seems a bit reasonable in my opinion. But according to them, you've been gone for quite a while, so you could use all the help you can get. Can you not?
Go ahead and give me a persuasion check.
Not great with persuasion. I should have rolled a bard. Nope.
If you return the horde, a new deal will be made. Until then, my bargain will stand.
Well, a pleasure to make your acquaintance. I do apologize I never introduced myself. My name is Claus Crosswell. And you might be?
Rixian is slack-jawed in awe.
The Eternal One. And as it says this, you see it, the dragon, like kind of puff out its chest a little bit, and it seems to be kind of boisterous while giving the name.
Well, it's a pleasure to make your acquaintance, Eternal One. I think we will be having another chat in the future.
One of you will be mine.
Oh, well, I do not swing that way myself. I can't say anything about my companions, but he just shrugs.
I think we'll stick with financial payment.
I swing both ways. With me axe.
I give a honorable bow, and then I turn to walk away.
The rest of you follow?
Yeah.
I'm waiting for the dragon to turn and leave.
Rixian, you'll note that the dragon stays still. Raven, what do you do?
I'm going with Groot, but Vixian, are you coming?
I'm sure he has his home to return to. Sun's coming out.
Yes.
Anything stopping you, Eternal One?
You see it outstretch its right claw towards you. Or blood.
I'm good. Have a safe trip home. And he turns around.
Taking a few steps away, each of you making your way away from the meeting point. Can each of you give me a Constitution saving throw?
Oh, shit.
Great. Why am I rolling so low?
So as each of you begin to feel gusts of wind at your back, Claws, you turn around in a bit of an excitement. A portal's opening, and a rock smacks you right in the face. You'll take 1 point of damage. The rest of you have little bits of pebbles and rocks patter your back, but you're able to, withstand a good amount of it. It's just more annoying at this point as Visor, the Eternal One, flaps its wings, battering the debris all around in your direction, and begins to fly away.
Wait, there's a portal though?
You said a portal's opening?
Oh, it was just like your thought process, and that's because you rolled a 1. You're like, oh, hell yeah, and then rock, boom, ow. So as each of you make your way away, you'll note that the Silver Dragon, returning to the Silver Peak Mountains to the west. Where are each of you going as this new deal has been presented? Whether or not it is accepted, we'll see. Because of Claus's idea, perhaps finding the Horde may get you out of this.
I head back to the tavern.
I guess I go in the same direction. We have a month.
right. Well,
Well,
as each
thank
of
you.
you make your way back to the tavern, as you said, you have a month to figure out whatever it is that you wish to do. However, there are other things on your plate. So with that, what is the plan?
I find Syndra.
You'll find Syndra back at the tavern, at the full cellar, and you'll note that she's already got 4 empty goblets of wine that's sitting in front of her, with the 5th one in her hand.
Just pounding them.
Hey, you couldn't wait for us?
She looks, and a big smile comes across her face. You're not dead. Thank goodness. Thank the gods. You look completely fine. Looks at you, Claus. It seems that you've got a bit of a scratch right there on your face, but nothing major.
I have a questionable look, and I look up, put my hand towards my face, and kind of go over it. It's like, oh, look at that. It left a mark.
Collateral damage, we'll call it.
But I will say that dragon seems a bit more distraught than innately evil.
I'd say a bit of evil, considering it's threatening thousands or hundreds of people.
Of course, if you were to return home and all of your family and possessions are missing, wouldn't you be a little on edge?
Yeah, but I try not to think about that out loud.
Exactly.
Anyway. So,
A couple
as
of
I...
air elementals arrive to the table.
Well, I'm glad we decided to handle that rather than having your sister handle it.
And I feel the town wouldn't be here anymore.
I would have been fine. Excuse me. I would have been fine.
You're hot-headed, like Kroot.
His response was a little bit concerning.
It'll just cost a few more platinum next month.
I
Yeah.
go over and I put down 500 platinum.
Well, if we are able to track down this horde that he speaks of that someone stole, then he might be a little more open to negotiation. Obviously, this has been in his home longer than it has been anybody in this town's home.
Klaus, I don't think anyone told you, but we stole his horde. I'm pretty sure.
The entire horde?
No, but it was also given to us by Mogan on his death. Of course, this Eternal One thinks it's his horde still because he was possessing Mogan.
Well, then why not just return it?
It's ours.
Yeah, we weren't really wanting to return it.
Put my hand to my face. Yeah. Possessions.
This has been
Such an
funding
ill
our,
way of thinking.
This has been funding our campaign to end Estelor.
We're,
Fun.
we're considering it taking a loan.
Yeah, steal from the Mogan to save the world.
Well, Mogan offered it to us pretty much when he died. He basically told us when he died we could have whatever.
Yeah, and some freeloaders taking his place.
Yes.
Well, that's not my problem if the town goes away.
I would have a
Sindra
problem.
looks a bit alarmed. What does he mean away?
Well, I mean, to be fair, they took the hoard of the dragon. It was supposed to be, or you call it Mogan's wealth. What was the curse on Mogan?
He couldn't leave the mountain.
Hmm. So how would he have come across such a hoard?
He had his minions carry it for him.
He has minions.
He had minions. To trolls.
Yes, he had like 20 trolls.
So he would send out trolls to ransack villages and collect gold and treasure.
I don't recall him ever harassing this town or any of the trolls.
I give a shrug. It seems like you have a problem here that has an easy solution. You just don't wish to do it.
The solution is rather simple.
Yes, bleed yourself dry until you run out of funds.
Until all of his hoard is back.
Or
He's
you could
getting
give
his
it all at once.
he's getting his hoard back either way, or we
Not
fight
his
him.
horde.
And I don't plan on giving it to
we
him
fight.
either way.
We stole that shit fair and square.
Yeah.
Not really, but I mean, by our eyes, it was Mogan's gold. And when this dragon cursed him, that hoard became his.
Well, in my
He passed it
opinion,
on to us.
I'd turn my robe pockets inside out and show that they're empty. I do not care for physical wealth. I think knowledge is the most wealth that you can ever come into in this world or the next world or the one after that.
Mhm.
Ah,
I hope that knowledge can buy you powerful and worlding weapons that can face a very
I-
maniacal being.
I grab out the weapon that I have underneath my cloak, and it's the crystal double-bladed scimitar, and I just show it out, and I say, I get by. And then I show my armor that has the hide from the animals that I was taking care of.
In
The reason why-
harvesting.
Yeah, like cattle. That's
The
how do you
reason-
get leather, huh?
I believe that we need that large amount of money more than anyone. And while we still have the chance, we're going to use it to hopefully get as much assistance as we can, fight Estelar, and then keep the money and fight the dragon.
If you choose to keep the money and fight the dragon, I will have no problem with that. You can do that on your own. It is not a just battle.
Either way, we'd be doing a favor to the dragons. No. He is their problem child.
Well, just because you are being banished from their way of life doesn't mean you have an exactly wrong way of life.
What we're doing is buying time.
Syndra hiccups. Literally.
Exactly.
Yeah, let's hope when we find Estelar, he doesn't offer you a massive amount of gold and then you give him the crown.
I put my hand on Syndra's shoulder and say, "Hey, do you want us to come back next month again?"
Well, from the sound of it, if I was there, then I wouldn't be able to handle the situation, or Silverkeep perhaps would just be gone. She gives a very angry look towards you, Claus.
Is she still drinking?
Oh yeah.
Okay, I wander over and I take the cup from her hand. And I say, "Hey, we're about done with that."
She like waves her hands like a bit wildly, trying to grab it back.
Ooh. You don't do that.
And then falls silent, staring at you. Give it back.
It seems you've had enough, and I gesture to the empty mugs.
I'll ask one more time politely, or I will take it back.
I
Brute
look at
grabs
her.
a stool and a bag of popcorn.
I look at her in the eyes, and I extend my arm with the cup in it, and I just pour it on the ground.
All right, go ahead and give me an athletics check as she dives across the table at you.
Go ahead and roll initiative.
Holy shit, dude!
She tackles you down to the ground and pins you down. As you each begin a bit of a tussle, you're holding her off quite well. I mean, she is intoxicated, but she definitely catches you off guard. And
How many ones have I rolled today?
enough to make this interesting. But within just a few moments, as she is attempting to essentially, I mean, what seems like end your life over a little bit of wine, each of you, now you'll need to give me a dex save, Claus. As each of you begin to rotate in a counterclockwise motion, feel yourselves lifted off the ground, separated. As you're spiraling around, you find both yourself, Syndra and Claus, finding yourselves in, well, the grasp of the air elementals as they twirl you around. And as each of the rest of the party has seen a couple of times in their stay at the Fool's Cellar, each of you, Syndra and Claus, booted out of the tavern.
Ooh.
As each of you land
if-
outside.
If I'm getting manhandled like that, I'm gonna ethereal step and get out of that.
All right. So as you're like beginning to be hurled, you'll just step out. The air elemental just
I just disappear.
throws Syndra out, and then the commotion ceases.
I rush over to
A couple
Syndra.
seconds later, I reappear. Just standing up.
He can't tell you what you can and can't drink. I look over to Klaus.
Going home.
Alright. We'll be here for one more day.
And in a bit of a drunken stupor, she attempts to walk off angrily, but as she loses her balance here and there, it's definitely not intimidating, to say the least.
Well, provoking the ire of both Syndra and the air elementals. I'm impressed.
Oh, I did not provoke the air elementals.
You do. By provoking Syndra, you provoke the manhandlers of the bar itself.
They're just bouncers
Well, then you just
doing their job.
allow your sister to come in here and drink a Warriors Array all day.
I think she's earned the right, to be honest.
Well, as the air elemental swings over the spilt wine, you see it spinning there for a moment as the wine gets sucked up into the air and then is placed down quite elegantly into one of the empty goblets. The goblets, then one by one, begin rotating slowly through the air elemental as it makes its way away, leaving the table and floor nice and clean. Each of you have the full day ahead on, again, since we're still in the fairly early morning hours of June 30th. With that in mind, if you all plan to stay here for one more day, well, it can be easily done.
What's the plan, guys? Now,
Well, I talked to a very hungover Sindra and say goodbyes. And our next plan is well, going straight to Estelar in the fastest means possible.
We're not going to your sister underwater?
That's a side task that we can get done when we have time. And we had a window to do that, but it wasn't worth it.
Alright. Do we know where he is?
Wherever he's going next is where I'm guessing. So Laels, maybe.
We know where he was going?
According to the pieces we did, I'm pretty sure.
Last we heard, he had already been to Laos and had quite wrecked the city trying to find the remains.
that's what I remember.
Well, then we'll let him find us. We'll set up a spot. We'll try to make the remains noticeable, very enticing, and we'll set up an ambush for him.
Alright. Where should we do that? Would imagine not here.
No, not in the town.
No, obviously, but relatively close to where he is. I'm not sure.
I don't know if we have even the faintest idea of where he is right now.
As a bit of an interjection, since the last time this information was pretty much relayed was 2 months ago.
Yeah.
There was a communication, as Raven said, of him obtaining the piece from Laels, nearly destroying the entire city in the process. However, also capturing people that were dear to you. If you were not to come and give him the pieces.
Did it say where he was going to be? Like, how do we know where to meet him?
That information wasn't given. But I mean, not in that conversation anyways. But there have been contacts.
So maybe we need to contact him.
Well, we should get to where we want to be first and then contact him.
Alright.
Something isolated, of course.
Well, if we want it to be somewhere that's within somewhat reasonable distance without casting a spell, we could head to the area where we believe the Underdark entrance to be. Not exactly near a city.
Yeah, that would keep people out of harm's way.
I don't know where else to meet that's not at a city. That is also identifiable.
We could also just go back to the Angel's Touch Lake.
True.
I don't mind using a spell.
Unless there's a particular city we're not fond of.
I don't want to go down that route. Because my mind immediately said Ravenshaw, and that's not a good idea. So do you guys want to go horseback riding, or?
I mean, I don't know. Is the Underdark entrance a good place to meet? I mean, I was just throwing out an idea. That's not necessarily where we need to go, but
How
Well-
far are we from that location?
you guys don't know. What is that, like a week and a half? It's definitely not like a couple-day trip, but maybe it's a week. I don't know.
You guys could go set up at the left-handed Hummingbird Village.
Where is
That's
That village is weird.
we could go there, yeah.
it? I don't know what that is.
It's
The little house right there.
I thought that was where the Underdark entrance was.
The Underdark
It's-
entrance is like a little bit to the left.
Oh, okay.
that sounds good, neat, fun place. I'm into it.
All right. Well, seems like each of you have decided upon a plan, and with the intent of giving your hungover sister a bit of a goodbye the next morning, we'll go ahead and take our break now and be back in just a couple of moments and get back to it.
All right.
Oh, be right back, everybody. And we're back. So, with each of your plan to rest for the remainder of the day, and then, well, set up whether a trap or a meeting or whatever may happen near the entrance to the Underdark. Each of you begin to prepare yourselves mentally as the day progresses, getting some nice hearty meals in, maybe having 1 or 2 cups of ale, nothing too major, in order to just, sleep easy for the night. On the next morning, as each of you wake on July 1st, it'll be a short rest completed. If there's any alterations of spells, things of that manner, go ahead and take care of that now. If you wish to roll a hit dice for your 1 HP missing, feel free.
It might matter. Boom.
Damn, dude, your rolls of ones tonight have been
I
like, on
know.
point.
Kyle, I
Need
would
a-
appreciate it if you, stop
Reloaded character sheet.
I was gonna
Yes.
say reloaded sheet. How does that work?
stop
What do you-
scamming me.
Do you have to like refill out the character sheet, or does it just like what does that mean? Reloading it. Like, do you have to
Okay.
redo the sheet all the way?
No, don't worry about it.
Because I don't think we ever reloaded mine.
Yeah, you're fine though.
He's got to turn off the nat 1 switch.
Yeah, I had to turn it off. I had it put on just for claws.
Yeah.
But as you awake, it's a nice, quiet morning in the tavern, as it is nearly every day. The air elementals serving bits of breakfast, little cups of juice, tankards of water. Some, notice to be a bit more overindulging in the morning, enjoying a bit of wine. Rixian, you have not seen your sister ever since she, stumbled away the previous morning.
Something, don't get involved in personal matters, something. And I will just head to the shrine. Just with some slight hope.
Unfortunately, you do not find your sister there.
Well, I got the whole day. And I'll just keep going between the 2 spots. If she wants to say goodbye, then she knows where to find me.
Unfortunately, she does not go to the shrine nor the tavern. Looking about through the town, you don't notice her at any of the other spots, the market or anywhere else.
Fuck me. I wanted to try to sneak up to the mansion.
Perfect. Go ahead and give me a stealth check.
God damn it.
I did this.
I did this.
Damn.
Make your way up.
Stop stealing my rolls, guys. God.
The Cayune family notoriously has no passive perception.
Even rolling the monster perception
You,
checks, to be honest.
You feel that you've made your way up undetected. Go ahead and give me a perception check.
Here's the bad one.
Making your way up to the manor, you can hear quite a bit of voices inside. It's hard to really dictate whose voice is which, but it is definitely recognized to be the majority of your siblings. Would you like to try to make your way in, or perhaps something else?
Hearing their voices just kind of makes Rixian tear up a bit. I miss them so fucking much. I'm not going to make Sindra go through all that waiting and suffering just for me to suddenly show up without Joriel. But if she's not here, then and assuming he doesn't hear her, then he'll just back away.
All right. So, what I feel is becoming a little bit more of Rixian's personality when it comes to his family, with each of you. After he had excused himself in that awkward manner, roughly about 30 minutes ago, makes his way back to the Fool's cellar. Each of you finishing up a nice meal, some eggs, bacon, potatoes, and little bowls of fruit.
A fruit for me.
I take his fruit.
Hey, so we're gonna message Estelar, but could we also message someone else?
I told you I didn't prepare those spells.
Well, that's what the plan is.
I've got the same spell. Use yours.
I didn't prepare mine. Alright, I'll do it then. That's fine. And he'll just join in the festivities.
Alright, so with the rest of the day, are you guys just going to hang out here one more day and then head out, or like a second day, or still head out today?
And still prepare while we're traveling, right?
Of course.
Is there any reason why we need to stay another day?
Not any that I can think of.
Not past this one.
Don't think so.
Just giving them a chance to say goodbye, but they don't want to.
Okay. Well, then with that, what we will do is move you along each day. And then the only thing I will need from you is just, letting me know what you're doing through the travels and till you make your arrival there.
And we're just walking?
Well,
Yeah.
I mean, we don't have our mounts, so unless we decide to buy new ones now before we leave. I don't know if we're really in much of a rush.
And if I could also request someone to draw me a path that you wish to take. I have an idea in mind, but I don't want to assume for when you all are traveling on foot.
Unless you guys want to go to the Angel Touch Lake and grab our mounts, how long they're going to last. At this point, if I can't remember if we tied them up. I'm assuming they're dead. If we did,
No.
we rested here a week in Silverkeep.
Button could take care of himself.
If they're tied up, all the grass nearby is definitely gone.
Yeah.
But no, you didn't tie him up. You just left him there, and then Crude actually told Mutton to protect. Then you guys went across.
That's right. Right.
I don't think I can actually learn sending. I don't think sorcerers get that.
You don't prepare spells as a sorcerer, right?
You don't.
You learn spells when you level up.
They got a limited amount.
Well, I mean, it's gonna take us multiple days to get there. We can always send them a message, and then you can swap it back out after you send that message.
Yeah, I mean, you can, just as a reminder, Crude, you don't have to wait for a long rest. You can do it daily. Doing it on a long rest would...
Oh, yeah. I forgot about that.
Yeah, because when we were talking about it for other games, because after things for this game when we had discussions, as well, the doing it every 7 days, be pretty hard to figure out exactly what that 7 days may entail.
Right. Okay. Then I would have swapped them out then.
Okay.
Yeah, and we got plenty of time going there.
The familiar I summoned was an owl, by the way, back when I said that.
No owl for you.
Oh, for you.
You get an owl with a lazy eye.
What kind of... what kind of owl?
Just to say a snow owl.
In this environment?
Oh, God. They also sound horrifying.
True. Alright. So what I will do at this point is move you each along, day by day. Again, if I can get that path. I don't want to assume this, so whichever or however you would like to correlate it, if you would please.
I think we're just going south of the mountains and then almost a straight path, right?
Yeah, that's kind of
Okay,
what
yeah,
I was
that's
thinking.
what I was figuring.
I don't see a reason to detour.
Alright, yeah, I mean, that's the path I assumed, but I wasn't sure if you wanted to, like, stop anywhere in particular on the way or do anything of that manner.
Yeah.
No reason for me. I don't
The
know.
only thing I'm going to do is when we take breaks, I'm just going to forage for food and read a bit of the book.
Got it. Alright. So, during the day, is there anything you wish to take care of? Or if not, then we'll just move to the night when you all are setting up camp.
I don't think I have anything.
No.
Nothing.
Alright, Claus, can you give me a survival check as you forage for food? Around the area is bits of grassland, the rocks, little bits of trees, and roughly the same little bits of areas that you had been in when meeting up with the Silver Dragon. But you do come across a bit of luck. You find 3 bushels of raspberries. From a rough estimate, it seems to be a couple, nearly 2 pounds.
Oh, that's a lot of berries.
Oh yeah, it's roughly like 36 bushes in total. don't know if your one's paid off, but on the table I rolled a 97, which is basically 2 pounds of berries, and I imagine that being a lot of bushes.
Yeah.
All right. This will move you all to July 2nd. A short rest is completed.
No, let me switch up my spells.
I'll just move you a little bit through the day. As mentioned, the plan of swapping out the spells and perhaps sending a message.
So sorcerers can't swap out spells.
They cannot.
At level up, you can trade.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. They're like
Oh, yeah.
they're
I
like
thought you
gifted
had that spell.
spellcasters.
Like, I want to say Warlock and Bard the same way. They're not prepared casters; they're learned casters.
Yeah. Clerics,
What?
druids, wizards, they all prepare.
Well, I've been making some terrible decisions.
Paladins too,
Oh yeah, paladins, yeah.
but they're half casters.
Yeah. Sorcerers are always like every time I level up as a sorcerer, I'm like, oh my god, what do I want? It's a life-changing decision.
It can be. I'll walk up to Pixie and I'm like, hey, I've got that spell you need.
Are you sure you don't mind using it?
No. For some reason I thought you had it. I was wrong.
I don't even know how to send messages that far.
Let me know who you want it sent to.
Send it to Syndra. Say you didn't get to see us off. I hope you're okay. We're going to take care of Estelar now. If we don't come back, I love you.
And I will send that message.
Well, tell my brother he could have come inside and said goodbye to the family when he thought he was being quite sneaky outside. I'll see you all when you make it back.
And I will repeat that to Rixian.
That fucking bitch.
Is that another message you want to send?
No.
I just laugh.
Oh.
Oh, too late, already spent it. I'm kidding.
You fucking bitch.
I was always the best at hide and seek. There's no way she saw me. God damn it. Well, I'm relieved. That's it.
At least you know she's okay.
Yeah.
Well, as you all are continuing on, this is the 2nd of July. Hey, that's today.
Nice. Oh my god, that makes it so much easier.
Can each of you give me a perception check as it reaches near midday?
Come on, roll 20.
Feel like your rolls have been a little bit better,
Lagging on
Claus?
me.
Still not really over 10.
Damn, it was low.
All right, I'll try one more time. Hold on.
I got the 120 on advantage, and nothing's been
Well.
over 10. That's funny.
As each of you are making your way, wrapping around the forest, making it a little bit easier in this direct path, you will each note a couple of trees well off, 500, 700 feet, maybe even 1,000 feet away, uprooting themselves and walking towards the center of the forest.
Anybody else see that?
Trying to remember, where did we fight the walking trees before? Was this here?
I don't recall, but I do remember fighting trees.
For some reason, I remember it being near Darkwell. Maybe I'm wrong. It could have been here.
Well, I don't want to mess with more trees. They kind of hurt.
I would just walk away from them and ignore it and head north.
Yeah, let's just bypass them altogether.
Yes, we have more pressing matters.
We don't have time for that.
Alright, so near the end of the day, you'll make it roughly here before needing to set camp for the night.
I'll set up my dome.
So if you're foraging for food again, Claus, another survival check, please.
I'll pat him on the back and say, good luck, and I'll give him guidance.
Ooh.
Ooh, interesting. I wonder what that would be. Doo-doo-doo. So as you're looking about, you come across this little bit of what looks to be farmland. There are plenty of crops, it appears, but this seems well out of place for, being kind of out in the middle of nowhere. You hear the sound of a dog barking.
Huh. Is the dog coming at me?
You don't see one.
Ooh, what kind of crops are they?
Corn.
Yeah, I'll take some corn.
Alright, so as you begin to pick a couple of things of corn, at this point, can you give me a perception check? You hear the barks getting a little bit louder. As you look over towards the right, you see a medium-sized dog. It's, definitely not the size of Nar, but a little beige German Shepherd, definitely not full-grown, is heading straight towards you, barking.
Chihuahua.
Does it look like he's just running straight at me?
Yes.
Okay. I'll do, as I hold, 3 cobs of corn. Do you say cobs of corn?
I think so.
I, put out my hand, my free hand, and I let out a sharp whistle, and I just do, the stop.
Can you give me an animal handling check? Hey, it worked.
Oh, nailed it.
The German Shepherd immediately
I'll
stops
find one eventually.
and sits. Then you hear a voice. Rufus? Where you at, Rufus? Did you get him?
I'd wave my hand and I say, "Go on."
Dog runs. And you hear there you are. Well, they're gone. Let's get on out of here. Dog lets out a couple of yips.
And then I head back to the group
All right.
with my corn.
So you will successfully get a half a pound of corn. And from the encounter, crazy farmer with dog.
Crazy farmer with dog.
I was like, I don't know why this would be on the table, but that was an interesting thing on the
What
table.
the hell?
I wanted to just share
you
that
just
because I know you as well as Crude are DMs, and this is definitely an interesting thing to come across.
You just described half the people in my town.
Crazy farmers with dogs.
Yeah.
Crude's like, hey, that's my entire campaign.
Now, if you only had a gun. Excuse me.
All right, so successfully stealing some corn. Make your way back.
Whoa, whoa, whoa! Stealing.
Well, yeah, it's his crops, right?
Whoa, whoa, whoa! Breaking and entering.
Whoa. Exactly. Claus knows no boundaries.
Well, I guess in the common
corn.
law,
It's growing from the ground.
it's not in Claus's eyes, but in the common world of law, I guess you could say. But I guess you're out on your own. You're kind of having to fend for yourself if you're not in a town. But nonetheless, rest can be completed, and moving through now July 3rd.
Is there anything about the book?
Oh, yes, I'm sorry. Can you give me 2 intelligence checks? I actually completely forgot that you had brought that up. Since 2 nights have passed, I'll give you 2 of those. So, looking it over, You don't really find anything of, really much help. Unfortunately, this just seems to be more of a story. Seems to be purely for entertainment purposes.
If it's entertaining, I'll keep reading it. Maybe something will wiggle its way into a fiction novel.
Alright. Well, then, on this night, can you give me... Oh, wait, we'll make it to the night in just a moment, actually. Because now we're on the 3rd. Anything else that you guys wish to do for the day?
So what's the idea? We're using sending to send a message to...
You sent one to Syndra.
To Syndra. Yeah, we sent one to Syndra. Are we sending one to Estelar?
Once we get there.
So you set a trap and then send the message?
I can't send him. I can't send him a message. I don't know what he looks like. I'm not familiar with him.
We've seen him kidnap our loved ones. You'll just have to go with it.
I didn't see anything.
The only thing that you've seen that, has been that you guys have deemed Estelar have been illusions. But from descriptions, that illusion seems to be depicting him. But you haven't seen him in a physical standing yet.
Would we know if that would work? Imagining the illusion that we've seen in the past?
I don't think anyone's tried that.
I mean, can I make an Arcana check or something to know if that would work?
think we might have to try it.
True.
Or just ask someone who's tried it, you know.
I don't know who. I think that's
Nobody
a very
out here in the
unique
plains.
scenario. I doubt there aren't too many people who can use that high level of magic, let alone people who've used it in that scenario. I mean, we could use a spell to contact someone that we think might have done that before, and then use another one trying to contact them if they think it works, or we could just use the one trying to contact them, and if it doesn't work, it doesn't work.
Well, then
I
what's
say
the
we take
plan
a
if it
gamble.
doesn't work?
Yes. Then back to square one.
I don't want to waste all my spells.
Right.
I'll just try to contact him. If it doesn't work, then
Then we find
another way.
Yes. We don't want to. I mean, we're going to be at a point where we're going to have to rest again so that Kurt can get his spells back. We don't want to. We want him to be fresh when we go to actually fight him. Speaking of which, we were supposed to contact our ally, what was it, Dooman? When he was ready? Or when we were ready to fight Estelar?
That was the last parting words.
Hmm.
When he had set out from Blucksmouth, let you know he was making his way back to Darkwell.
Crap.
But, to let him know if he can be of any assistance when the time has come.
He could be, but getting to meet up is going to be a hassle.
We could always try to lure Estelar in with the crown.
I mean, not to go off the rails here, do we still want to go to the Underdark spot? Do we even want to entertain the idea of trying to get Dooman to help us? Is that too much effort? I mean, it would take us, if we walked, it would take us weeks to get there, I think.
Yeah.
If we head to the lake, then we could take the portals and it would cut travel.
Where are the portals again?
I have them connected to just about all the major cities.
Really? That's not that much further than where we're going. Maybe a couple more days, but
Yeah, I was thinking about going to there anyway.
sorry, not to
So-
derail our original plan, but does that potentially give us an edge? I mean, having more allies, I would assume would, but if we can even find Dooman. But
I don't want to regret not trying.
if we made allies and we don't use them, I feel like we're shooting ourselves in the foot.
I agree. I could always send him a message.
Well,
Ooh.
what if we just head to the lake first, go to the portal, take ourselves to Darkwell, see if we can find him. If he's not there, then we'll maybe have to message him. But
Sure.
I mean, the
or we have you
closest we
waste
can
any
get
more
is Laels.
spells. I'd rather not have you waste any more spells. Sorry, what was that?
The closest we can get to there is Laels.
Well, I mean, then maybe a few more days' travel to Darkwell, heading around the northwest of the lake. But
And at that point, you'll have your mounts back, right? And I would have mine as well.
Are you sure the portal in Laos is still intact?
Getting all those mounts, you guys, and all the allies, I feel like forming up an army.
Pretty much.
Are you sure the
Might need
portal
one.
in Wales is still intact after it was attacked?
Well, it's not your typical spell, as I would put it. They're more of planar portals.
I'm just, you know, if
So
there
I
still
would.
are attacked Wales, I'm just, you know,
I
throwing
said
out the
it is
possibilities.
very possible to deactivate them, but I'd assume they'd have to know what they were looking for, and SLR
But
may
also,
have an idea.
it takes some pretty powerful magic to do that, wouldn't it?
Yes, I believe so.
So if we're in agreement, I think it'd be to our benefit to head to the lake, then get our mounts, use the portals, find our allies. If we're in Laos, maybe we can even reach out to the allies in Blucksmouth.
Yeah.
If we're gonna do this right and have a fighting chance, I think we need to do everything we can to improve our chances.
Yeah. We may only get one.
I think we've already had one and we're lucky to get away. This is probably our last chance, you're right.
So, while still following the path, just gonna keep walking to the Angel's Touch Lake, or
I think so. Same path, just kind of going up the mountains now.
I'm gonna go
Not
through
through the mountains, but to the
Skirting
around
the
it,
mountains, yeah.
skirting the bottom. Yeah,
Got it.
it's the word.
Would I know if there's any dwarven clans in these mountains?
Not on the southern side. You would know of the ones to the northeast, where you had actually
Where I came
commissioned
from.
some armor from.
Is that in Luga or was that to the
Mhm.
south of the? Okay.
It's actually a pretty big order that you had placed.
I don't even remember, dude.
It was a pretty cool custom mall with a ram's head, I believe, with 2 rubies for
Oh,
the eyes.
yeah. That's right. I do remember that now.
I mean, I don't really have any other, things to do while we travel at the moment, but
Okay, well, how about this? Unless otherwise specified, we'll move day by day. Claus, you can give me a survival and a intelligence check for each day. And unless anyone has anything else,
There's my next one.
perfect.
The guidance.
nice.
We will just move till you arrive back towards where your mounts were.
We're passing through the Hummingbird Village.
Close to it, and if there's anything else that I need from you, I will let you know.
We didn't go through there before, have we? I don't remember.
Not that I remember.
No.
I went through there as Croth in a different campaign. That was something.
I think I would want to see it because isn't that like where Pandora lives?
That's where she's from.
Yeah. I mean, I would want to know what happened to her.
Wouldn't be surprised if her memory was wiped by the big dragon.
That's what I want to confirm.
Yeah.
Can you give me your intelligence check as well there, Claus?
Oh yeah.
Okay. This is a pretty good book. Estelar starting off as, I mean, from the tale, seems to be a bit of a hero, if you will. And then getting towards the last chapter, or for the last chapter for the night, it's leaving you wondering, oh, how does this make, any sense? It's almost leaving you like on edge. You want to keep reading, but it's getting late. For your survival check, you will find a small buck. It's about a 6-point buck, and it will yield 50 pounds of meat.
Jesus.
Nice.
Yeah.
Extra and gravy.
So for the next few days, in case anyone hadn't done it already, besides claws, make sure you mark off 3 rations. But if Claus wishes, having enough food to feed the party for at least a couple days.
Yeah, if I get that buck, then I'm gonna spend time preparing it and everything, and then I'll have too much meat, so I'll offer it out.
Thank you. Make a buck bacon, buck brisket, baked
Bacon.
steaks.
Buck jerky.
Buck fajitas.
Alright, so if I'm not mistaken, that was the 4th, and this is moving us into the 5th. Can each of you give me a perception check? As you begin to make your way across these plains, you see a bit of a ruined village. A single building stands.
Bam.
While it's quite easy to tell that this place has been nearly completely decimated, the one building does give a bit of sign of hope. As Raven, Rixian, and Kroot, you look about. Claus, a bit distracted from just the sheer destruction that seemed to have occurred here. The other 3, you'll see a yellow tiefling sweeping the deck, the front porch of the lone building.
I instinctually run up and wave and say, "Hey, Pandora."
Stop sweeping. Gives you a little tilt of the head. Do I know to you?
Uh, yeah, you did, but I don't think you do anymore.
How do you know my name?
We've met, but you probably don't remember.
You see her looking at you a bit confused. Well, what do you want? Are you the ones that caused this mayhem?
No, I just wanted to make sure you were all right. In fact, here. And he walks up and gives her like 100 platinum. You may not remember me, but I would feel a lot better if I gave this to you.
She holds it. Still, well, even looking a bit more confused with this offer. Okay, what is it that you want? No one just gives this amount of coin out for free.
Not usually, but sometimes you just want to support the people you care about. And I know you don't think too hard on this. You lost your memory of us. But you were a very powerful sorcerer to Diana. You helped fight evil. You were very sassy. You were very charming. And you fought really hard. And now you're here in your home. Not much of a home anymore. And I sort of feel bad for some of the decisions I made. And I just want you to have this. Maybe you can do something great with it. So please take it.
No. I am fine the way that I am. I don't need any of your handouts.
It's more of a donation, really. You don't have to accept it, but someone could use it. And he continues to hold out the platinum.
She'll snare it or snag it from you. As long as there's nothing that you wish in return, well, perhaps I can find some use for this.
All I wish is for you to just take care of yourself. And he'll turn around back to the party. Uh, also, someone you really care about is in Ravenshaw right now. You should probably go visit. Just saying.
Who?
Well, she's a very interesting tiefling girl, I believe.
If you're referencing Silky, uh,
Yeah.
you'll know that she's in Blucksmouth. You guys moved her out of
Oh,
danger.
right. Blacksmith.
Oh, that's right. I forgot about that.
Where she's collected a horde of animals, since all of them are
Yeah.
white and pretty.
I I can take you to her if you like.
You won't get any response.
Do you even know a Sulky?
No.
Well, she knows you. Hopefully. I just wanted you to be aware that there are people who care about you, even though you may not know them. And it's unfortunate, but that's just how things are. So, you know, I hope you go on your. Just live the way you are. Maybe find some new adventure. That's all. And he'll turn around.
Well, if nothing else, move you all along.
Excuse me.
Well, this part of the river is pretty narrow. The only one that will have a tad bit of trouble will be Kroot. The depth is 3 foot, so it doesn't overtake you completely. Um, being able to bob up and down a bit, but definitely a tad bit uncomfortable.
4'11".
Just more so than the others. But the depth here is very negligible. The only one I'm gonna have roll is actually Claws, because he's been rolling a lot of ones. I'm just kidding, buddy.
Gonna have me roll. I'm gonna ritual cast water walk.
Touche. But at the end of the day, another survival and intelligence check.
Survival with guidance. A D40 to roll.
Well, I mean, if you have all that buck meat, then I'm probably just gonna try to go through that.
Okay. Well, then, from my rolls, the next 3 days, there's nothing really to encounter. So, I'll just move you along there. So if you want to give me 3 intelligence checks.
But it's just so into this book that I just can't catch it. Oh, here's the last one.
So while you're finding the book to be very entertaining in the middle, you see where it starts to form the evil side on the second day of the second roll, essentially your 5th day of reading the book, somewhere around there. And during this part, you'll note that quite a few of his friends have perished, and with each one, it seemed that a part of him kind of perished away as well, making him turn his intents slightly more evil, if you will. When you make it to the last chapter, the last thing that you read is that while speaking with an individual, he unknowingly to you whether or not accepting the individual's proposal, walks away and disappears into the mountains. Your overall take from the book is that it is a well-told story.
I give the book back to Raven. I say, yes, in the beginning of the book, it appeared to almost be as if someone just wrote this for fun, a fiction of some sort.
Yes.
But the ending has me a bit curious.
Yes.
It is unfinished.
Hmm.
It never tells what Estelar answered to the offer.
Hmm. Indeed.
But if you were to ask me, the person or thing that offered him the proposal, well, it could only be one thing.
What's that?
Some sort of otherworldly being. Now, it could be a demon, I could be absolutely wrong, but something not from this plane.
Hmm.
Could even be a dragon. You've seen it been done before.
True.
Can each of you roll me a perception check as well, please?
Yeah, we're back in it.
Raven, Claws, Kroot, each of you will hear a bit of what sounds as hooves approaching quite quickly. As each of you look in the direction, Kroot, Raven, you'll easily notice this to be Mutton. I believe it was Shadow and Luna.
Mine was Nugget.
Nugget, that's all right. Shadow,
Yep.
different game.
McMutton!
Runs directly at
What?
you. Pete, Kroot, can you give me a strength saving throw, please?
Yes. Come on, roll 20.
Oh boy.
Ooh!
Here we go.
Pushes
First
you
low roll.
directly into the ground, burying its horns into you, knocking the wind out of you. You will take, max damage, 4 points of damage.
I've got 5 words for
Nugget
you,
and
Mutton.
Luna come up. Nuzzle, Rixian,
I'm glad
and
to see you,
Raven.
boy.
I pull out an apple and hand it to Nugget.
Oh, these apples can't be good by now.
I mean, I stock up whenever I go to the city, but
Been a few days.
Last time you guys were in town has been nearly a week.
yeah. Do apples last less than a week?
On not refrigerated?
I mean, didn't they put them in barrels on ships heading across the ocean from Europe to the U.S.?
We'll say that they can't be
Yeah.
the greatest. They'll be all right to eat for a horse, of course.
I mean, it's a horse. Like,
Exactly.
it's not.
It's gonna eat the fucking core, so. Apple received.
I'll ritual cast Water Rock for everybody.
Your snow owl lands on Nugget's head. All right.
While he's doing that, I ritual cast water breathing just in case. Or no.
So I believe this will bring us to the day of July 8th. So you make your way across the lake.
Mm-hmm.
So as you're making your way across the lake, can everyone give me a perception check? Claus, can you give me yours at advantage, please?
What the fuck? Double threes. That's bullshit.
My perception's been on point tonight.
Hell yeah. Raven, Rixian, each of you begin to notice quite a bit of large shadows gathering below as you're transversing the surface of the lake. Kroot, you'll catch little bits of glimpses. Claws, you'll instinctively know these are your Koibra. Kroot, you notice a few of the orange, black, and white tints. Then a few of them poke their heads out of the water. Look towards each of you.
I'll do I'll use some of my whistle commands and then usher them up onto the island.
Be right back.
So, moving over toward towards that direction, they'll swim down, and then placing their large necks underneath each of your feet, begin to help propel you to the land quite a bit quicker. Getting across the lake in at a pretty quick fashion, these Koibra allow you to dismount. Even just in case it needs to be pointed out, assisting mounts everything across, and you can each begin to make your way towards the center.
Oh, yeah, I forgot the mounts are water walking.
Yep.
That's cool. And water breathing in case.
Yeah.
In case I'm like, haha, you guys suck. Cancel my my water walking.
How does that work? Because water walking's not and breathing are neither of them are concentrations. Like, is that something you can cancel?
Maybe if you fight the Koibra in the water.
Yeah. Well, like, you can't cancel a non-concentration, right?
No.
No.
It's just there for an hour.
He's just messing
Right.
with us.
Yeah, no, I know. I'm just curious, though, in general. I've never thought of that before.
You could dispel it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is true.
So, as each of you make your way towards the center, you'll be greeted by the familiar yips of Nar, as this dog, the rough size of Kroot, 3 heads, comes out.
Come along, Nar. I brought you something. I take out the rest of the buck meat, and then I give it to him.
The 3 heads fight over it, tearing it apart quite quickly, shredding it. Pieces of meat, flesh, fly about.
And for our travel days, I was subtracting 2 pounds per person for eating purposes.
So running through, roughly half.
Yeah, I was down to 18 pounds, so I just gave the rest to him.
Well, at this point, as each of you make your way, there is a pedestal that Claus had stepped out onto. You see little bits, the shimmer of light catching your eye. So do each of you go through?
This is
Yeah,
the right one, right?
I do
Klaus?
some work, like I do some magic symbols and all that around the portal, and then make sure it goes to the right location. And I say, yep, we're all set to step through.
Little bits of arcane energy kind of just shoot out from Claus's fingertips, and as they do, they make these slight symbols that form, just like merging into the light. Soon, what Claus, you would be familiar with the skyline, kind of seeing the city of Lales. When you look, maybe finding yourself to be a bit shocked, but the skyline being nearly completely gone. Only a few recognizable buildings remain.
Wow, this is quite different from the last time I saw it.
Take it this is Dickelar's handiwork.
Could be. There are many things in this world. It wouldn't surprise me if it was. Wouldn't surprise me if it wasn't. But I guess we should investigate.
What did I miss?
When looking through the portal, the skyline of Lales is just about all gone except for a few key buildings.
Oh, okay. I mean, we should make sure most of them is okay.
Does this look like it happened like yesterday or a week ago or?
It's from you being a bit unfamiliar with the city, it's a bit hard to tell. From Claus's perspective, I mean, Claus, roll me a history check.
Average.
The last time you recall being to Lales is maybe 20 years ago. And, I mean, the last time you looking through the portal at that point, it didn't look like that. But you're unsure of exactly when.
Yeah, a lot can happen in 20 years.
But if you all were to guess, from the message received from Estelar, put a thumb on it, roughly about almost 3 weeks ago at this point.
Yeah, I'm gonna start wandering around and seeing if anybody needs any type of healing.
Okay, so still going through for sure.
Yeah, we haven't gone through yet.
We haven't gone through yet. Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's just like
That's
what
right.
you see
We're
at
just
through
seeing
the
the
portal.
skyline.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, I'd recommend that. Maybe we should go and see if anybody needs any kind of help.
Yes, we can offer some help. I agree. I'll step through the portal as he says that.
And I'll follow.
Yep, I go in.
Yep.
So, Claus, what you would be slightly familiar with is abandoned home that you have found this portal to be in. Brings you to Lales. As you take a look around, things are a bit different inside. You see some nice, fresh carved furniture. You hear the sounds of a rocking chair rocking back and forth. You look out the window that points directly towards the Corn Silk Rat Guild Hall, and the Guild Hall nearly completely demolished. About half of it remains standing. The rest still in rubble. Bits of smoke coming from little bits of fires scattered about the city. From what you had mentioned earlier, you will note quite a bit of individuals walking about, seeming to be burned, little bits of wounds here and there, coughing from smoke. But making your way outside, you find it to be quite a rainy day.
Well, I will use. I've had a healer's kit since I started this group. I'm gonna use that.
Perfect.
On the minor injuries, burns. But if anybody actually needs some serious healing, I'll do that as well.
So at this point, can each of you make me a investigation? Can you give me an investigation, please? Speaking about taking looks around, trying to exactly establish the what had happened. Claus, while you're a bit unsure of what caused this destruction, you'll find a bit more help tending and helping Kroot tend to some of the injured as you all begin to overhear Raven find a slightly injured individual that goes by the name Sir Riffin. His hair a bit singed, his face burnt. You can see the smut that covers most of his body. Walks over to each of you with a bit of a stumble. This one says that you can help.
Talking to me?
Yeah, you're a cleric, right?
Yeah.
He'll take a seat in front of you, pushing himself up against a bit of a wall. And said that I should tell each of you what I told him. Some asshole came here about a couple weeks ago. Said he was looking for something. No one knew what it was. So, to get what he wanted, he just gestures towards the city. Finally, someone spoke up. Told him where it was. It didn't help. He took it, destroyed more, and left.
Did he mention where he was going?
Looking for what he said. The thorn in his side. when they left. It flew over the empty tide sea. The southwest from here.
Towards Darkwell?
Somewhere in that direction. I don't care where he went. I don't want him to come back. Killed a lot of important people here.
Very sorry to hear that.
We'll be sure to revenge them.
Was there anything else I can help you with? Any questions I can answer?
What kind of magic did he use?
Well, it wasn't just his magic. That of his friends.
How many
did
friends did he
with him?
have?
3.
Can you describe them at all?
One had a red cloak. No one had a bow. That's one of the things I won't forget. That one's face with the bow. Long, brown hair. An elf. Took down more of the guild members one by one by himself with a single arrow than I've ever seen anybody accomplish. The other, all I know is it was a male human, little beige skin. Definitely seemed to be one with nature. Turned them all into eagles and they flew away.
What did the first one in the red cloak do?
Well, anytime any of us hurt one of them, that one made sure that they stayed alive.
Hmm.
You know, this would have gone a lot better if we hadn't been fighting that war.
Yes, we've heard rumors about you fighting a war over here. How was the war going before?
It's over now. It doesn't seem a time to celebrate.
How long ago did the war end?
A couple months, maybe less. Gives you each a look. And then gives you a bit of a pat on the shoulder, Kroot. Thanks. Feel a little bit better already.
Thank you for your help as well.
Question, was anyone able to hold them off? Maybe with like some high level magic or a weapon of some kind? It looked like it was working for a bit.
The only one with that capability was killed off quickly. The others here that helped us win the war I think if they were here, things may have been different. Those heroes are gone.
What we need right now are definitely more allies.
You by chance know where those heroes went?
Let's shake his head. No.
Yes, we are looking for allies to take down this bastard.
Fortunately, there's not many of us that remain here that can fight. If I can offer my sword, but I can't leave. Can't leave Laels now. They need a leader.
I wouldn't expect you to.
You're needed here.
Crew, at this point, you've helped quite a bit of individuals. A lot of them, you'll note that they have some bad wounds, but nothing that the healer's kit can't fix up. A lot of bumps, bruises, scrapes, things of that manner.
Okay.
But nothing that will require more extensive care.
Okay. So about how you think I would have used the whole healer's kit? It has 10 uses.
I would say it's definitely gone.
Okay.
You got it to stretch a little bit farther than you would have normally got it. You've helped 20 individuals.
Okay.
I would propose we restock on resources before leaving here.
Yeah, that sounds like a good idea.
Rations and apples and whatnot. Med packs.
Yeah.
You guys
I actually need to go. I need to get ready for something. Me, Nuya.
Oh, you mean like in person?
Yes, I like. Sorry, I know my character doesn't have a unique voice.
No problem. Well, we'll just finish up the session and then hopefully get back to it in a couple weeks.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
No problem.
No, it's all right.
We're
Life-
nearing the
life
end anyways,
happens,
right?
Yeah. I'm happy we got to play.
We got quite a bit accomplished anyhow.
Yeah.
I'm glad we got stuff done.
I mean, I knew we were coming up on trying to make plans for Estelar soon, but I didn't realize we were like doing that as our next big target, like now. But that's cool.
Yeah, I'm hoping we fight him next session, so I need to go now.
Alright.
Alright, see ya.
Later.
Right, dude. Good night.
Later, man. So, however, we got about, 30 minutes left. So, with a lot of this place being in a bit of shambles, things of that manner, what exactly is your plan from this point?
Well, I guess I'm thinking we head towards Darkwell, right?
So I'm assuming we would just go northwest towards Goldshire around the lake and to
Yeah.
Darkwall.
Laels probably doesn't have a ship that goes across right now. We could check.
They have any docks?
Yes, they do. Sir Riffin, if asking him these questions, will give you all the answers that you need. Especially after Kroot has tended to a lot of the civilians and the remaining guild members here.
Yeah. I'll go around and the docks and see if I can secure passage across the lake.
While you're doing that, I'll go ahead and try to replenish some of our stuff. I'll get rations for the group and healers kits. I'll get a couple of those.
Using my ship's passage.
Unfortunately,
Background.
Kroot, Sir Riffin will inform you, all the ships have been destroyed. There may be some smaller vessels there, perhaps like a smaller rowing boat or anything of that, or something of that manner. But the larger ones, he'll note that had been lost during the war. But if that's something that you're interested in, then that is something that you can easily accomplish. But unfortunately, just not a larger ship. It'll be a bit more uncomfortable, if you will.
We got our mounts too.
That is also
Yeah,
true.
I'll mumble something under my breath where no one can hear me about how if they lost every ship, they must have had a suck-ass navy.
So, to be
They
fair,
didn't have Captain Croft apparently.
yeah, they didn't have Captain Croft.
Didn't have Captain Croft.
Well,
It would have been
I was trying
so interesting to go across the water.
Raven, you're not able to find any rations, but you can find some extra healing kits, medicine kits.
All right. Trying to think. Honestly, I'll probably get one for each of us, just to be stocked up, and then we can forage for food on the way.
Yep.
Yeah. Well, each of you do have your horses. The ram and I believe Nar's with you too.
Yeah.
I figured that's what you meant as your
I bring him
mount.
with.
I didn't know if you meant the Koibra, but I figured Nar.
No. Nar can change his sizes at will, so. The Koibras are pretty big, and people would see him and be like, what the hell? What's this now?
Yeah, three-headed 4-foot dog definitely won't draw as much attention.
Wow. Large size cobra.
I feel like it would be at least
hybrid.
even. But
maybe I can,
Sir Riffin will
put something to hide two of the heads.
Minor illusion.
What do you think? I got cantrips?
Yeah. Sir Riffin will also inform each of you the bridges had been destroyed that crossed the rivers, but they have been partially reconstructed. As far as he knows, they're still able to be crossed.
Are we gonna at some point trying to figure out our path here? We want to go to Darkwell, but we're gonna potentially get a hold of our allies in Bluxmouth. How do we want to do that?
What allies do you have in Bluxmouth?
They're I'm trying to remember her name right now.
Yaren and the
Yeah,
Violet
Lady
Jaguar.
Yaren is
yeah.
she is positively attuned to our task of
I know that
stopping
you
SLR.
didn't finish it with them, but that task that you were sent out with them when you came in as a special guest as Croth, um, they retrieved a vial that had a golden liquid and got it for her successfully, and also a piece of the halo.
I think it turned out to be like elixir of immortality or something.
I believe
The
that's
golden
what
liquid.
the conclusion you all came to. Yes.
Yeah, and we basically made sure she destroyed it, but um, basically she's in tune with the idea of stopping Estelar, so and she controls the guild there, so by the Jaguar, so
We're almost done.
we potentially have you know like military allies there within the guild.
Yeah. Well, I mean, so we could plan to. We could probably just go to Blexmont instantly,
Yeah.
and then just pop back into Wales, and then go to Darkwell.
Oh, do you have a portal set up to go to Bluxmouth too?
Yes.
Oh.
Any, unless Kyle says otherwise, any of the major cities.
Yeah, I was actually kind of curious why you didn't want to go to like Mito, but
Yeah, we could go to Europe.
Yeah, we've
Whichever
never been to Mito.
But they went south. You said southwest,
correct.
so we have no idea exactly how far. But
What is the name of these mountain ranges here?
The Nyansima Mountains.
Nyansima Mountain.
Remember, that's where Estelar is known to have his hideout.
That's where my clan's from.
What?
Oh my gosh, Kroot just dropped a bomb from his backstory that no one knew.
What?
So yeah, we could. That's a good.
Kroot, I
plan
don't know
right
if you
there.
meant to do that, but that would have what a bomb.
Yeah. I've never mentioned that. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
Okay.
I guess that's another good point. I mean, if we can't get a hold of him like through a spell contact, we could always just go to the mountains and see if he's there.
True.
We don't know if he's. I'm assuming he's looking for us, though. I don't know if he's gonna be at his hideout.
That's kind of
could always
southwest.
I could contact me kin if they've seen or heard of him.
That's a good idea. So yeah, if you want to go to Blexmouth, we can go to Blexmouth, and then. What side of the mountain are you from? Oh, the mountains.
West side.
West side. So then we can go to Mito.
That's where I first saw the ocean and fell in love with the sea.
Is there anything out there? The map makes it look like it's just desert.
Well, there's the city right there.
Out where?
There is a lot of desert, but from your clan, you all mainly working like at like the mine and things of that manner, where there to be like plentiful of gems and coin to be made. But when going to the city, in order to like make the delivery, one day when seeing the sea, gave up that life.
When
Yeah.
the light hit this
Like,
ocean at just the right.
My parents are nobles in the Dwarven clan. So I could contact my father. They're known for their fine ales and meads.
Sounds like a plan.
Okay, well, if you guys wish, as Samira had offered the rest of you as well, she's a little in your debt, as well as Dooman and little bits of others. So, with having these portals and able to get there quite quickly, is there anything in particular that you'd like to say to Samira, or just begin to raise the army? Because if nothing in particular, I only have one other question, which is, Kroot, I guess, when are you sending the message to your father?
Right now.
Okay. What do you say?
Typing it out.
Aren't we? Is it Lady Yarn and we're talking about, right?
Yes, if you were to go to Bluxmouth with the portal.
Yeah. Okay.
No,
read
if
how
I
I'm
did
not
say
that
Samira,
big.
my bad. Because we were talking about Mito, too.
But we don't know anybody there, though, right?
Yeah, you're right. You guys haven't
Yeah.
been there or anything.
Yeah.
It was just, I guess, like, my
Yeah.
knowledge just, like, spewing out, but...
No, I got you. I was like, wait, what? Why is she here?
And there is my message. 25 words exactly.
Okay. Just checking one more time. No one wants to say anything to Yarn besides basically rise the army. Make your way down here.
Not I.
Yeah.
Okay. What she will inform you of is, Mito is in a slight bit of disarray. However, she can get troops there quite quickly, using the portal, there at the Violet Jaguar. And then what we will do is end the night with this. Kroot, as you send your message, the response you get is this. Kroot! Ah! It's great here! Esla? Yeah. Then, you hear a bit of change in the voice. Boy, don't come here. He's killing everyone. It's then switches back. All ale's great, food's fine.
Spooky.
Is he being like? And is he like turning into one of those crazy people that were in Darkwall and Red Hawk?
Maybe.
Is that the end of the message?
That is the end of the message.
I'll turn to my party and like, something's wrong with me, father. He does know Estelar. Believe, Estelar is there at my clan.
You think something's wrong with him?
Yes, my father mentioned something about him killing everyone. Like, Klaus, do you have a way to get near the mountains? Have any type of portal?
Going to Mito is probably the closest bet.
Well,
From then, we just travel by foot.
if everyone agrees, I will move you all over to Mito.
Yeah.
How are we communicating with Lady Yarn? Are we just
You are
Oh,
using the
I mean,
portal,
we could-
going there, and then
Yeah, we
speaking
can just
to
go
her.
there.
okay? I say, Lady Yarn, are you able to send troops with us? I mean,
Yes, I will send them through the portal here that I have connected to Mito.
okay, wonderful.
With the amount of forces, I will head there myself first and let them know that it is to take care of an issue near the mountains, and they need to not be concerned.
Just with our bringing forces through.
Well, after their, well, issues with Laels, to say the least, they might be a bit apprehensive on the amount of forces we will be sending.
I see. All right. If anything else, if we can, I'd just say, hey, can you bring us some rations? Because we're a little bit,
Excuse me.
we're not that bad, but it's like, just for our group.
And when we go through your portals, us and our mounts go through there as well.
Everything can
Okay.
pass through.
Okay. As soon as we get to Mito, I'm taking straight off to the mountains.
We need to be very careful with how we approach with the remains to make sure he doesn't get them. How are we hiding the halo?
I believe it's just in a pouch. If I'm not mistaken, Vixian's carrying it.
We have a bag of holding.
Yeah, I've got the one that's got all our money in it.
Okay.
The only bag of holding ever that I think has been nearly topped off with pure gold or platinum.
Right? I don't want to risk losing that either, but I mean, if he gets the crown, the world's over anyways, so doesn't really matter, I guess, at that point, right?
We won't be able to detect it in the bag of holding, right? Hadn't we already discussed this?
Technically, it's in another plane of existence, yes, the contents. So, technically, the crown wouldn't even sense. You know how it pulls towards the other pieces?
Yeah.
It wouldn't be able to do that because it would be in another dimension. He
Well,
would have no idea where he might, and it would also prevent him from letting him know where we are.
Yeah. Well, let's do that then. Take the crown, put it in the bag of
We
holding.
could actually surprise him potentially.
I think that's a pretty good idea, especially with your experience when locating it when Claus took it through one of the portals.
Yes.
Right, because we lost track of it.
So whoever has it, I take it and I put it in the bag of holding. Yeah.
All right. Well, as you make your way into Mito, you find it to be quite hot. The sun bearing down on each of you as it reaches near midday on July 8th. However, with the sun bearing down, each of you look out and you see a fairly nice city. It seems that it's all well kept. A lot of buildings made of dried mud, but decorated quite well with little bits of gems and stones to make it kind of shine in the light of the sun. Being fairly familiar, you know the mines to be nearly directly east, and your tribe that you came from to be in that rough direction as well. But with that, it will be nearly a day of travel to reach that location. So, as we wind down our session tonight, hopefully, fingers crossed, we'll be able to get back to it in a couple weeks and not have over a month before we get back to this.
I know.
But nonetheless, I will post a reminder in chat. But next week on Friday, we will have the Knights of Immortality. So we get to do more with that. Claus, I don't know if you saw session, like I called it 0.5, since getting B-Drill, I almost forgot his Discord name, used to some things. And they got to fight a bunch of dummies, but it was had to be completed in like a puzzle. It's kind of fun.
Yeah, you just mentioned half of the townspeople here again. Bunch of dummies.
But other than that, everyone have a good night, and see y'all tomorrow.
Couple of weeks.
Yeah.
Did we get any experience tonight?
Yes, I'm gonna wait to hand that out for when Rixian is here as well. But
The hell was Rixian?
each of you, if I remember correctly, I mean, you'll be getting fairly close to the level.
Yeah, we're like halfway between 12 and
If you would have
13
killed
and
the
14.
dragon, I think you would have been there.
Oh yeah, probably.
Yeah.
But you know, there's
I
one
mean-
way. There's more than one way to solve an issue, and you guys took the diplomatic approach.
Right.
So
Right. I mean, we
Yeah.
probably would have ended up needing another long rest after that, though.
have a good night, everybody. Bye bye.